An Enemy of the People by Henrik Ibsen is relevant in today's world. We are able to assess that relevance through the political, character, conflict, and idea parallels present in the play. There is political corruption in Dr. Stockman's town. Along with an abuse of power, Peter and Thomas use their positions to add gravity to their otherwise simple disagreement. Peter being the mayor, Thomas the well-respected doctor, and both as chairman of the Baths Committee. The issue of the baths is a high-stakes situation of great importance, but the manner of which it was presented to the community should not have been so dramatized, and would not have been if Peter and Thomas hadn't used their influence, or were different people without access to that influence. In today's world, politicians use their influence of stature to make their opinions more persuasive. The media plays a major part in this publication, as it does in Ibsen's book, With the People's Messenger. Anyone can post something online with their view on an issue, and no one would take much notice. But if the president sends out a tweet, it'll show up on the news the following day, and others each get the chance to share their reaction. There are several characters that can be found in An Enemy of the People that are seen in today's common crowd and modern literature alike. Ibsen inserted complexity into the format of his characters, which makes them so realistic and relatable. Dr. Stockman takes form as a tragic hero who struggles to make the hard truth be realized. A tragic hero is a timeless character that is seen in both William Shakespeare and Suzanne Collins' books. Petra and Catherine Stockman are great representations of strong female characters. But the up-and-rising feminist movement started several hundred years ago. This character portrayal is relevant to this current date and is reflected by most women today. It's hard to hold a grudge against Aslaksen, who plays the often unrecognized role of peacemaker. He lives by way of moderation and tries to avoid conflict whilst still having his own opinions. The representation of Aaron Burr in the musical Hamilton is quite similar to Aslaksen, in that both men prefer to keep their peace, yet still have their say. The three main conflicts in An Enemy of the People are part of everyday life for most. They are cost versus benefit, family versus work, and sibling rivalry. Dr. Stockman feels within himself it is right to speak the truth, but he is told that spreading this information would cost his town a lot of money and would shut down its main source of income, the baths. This cost-benefit conflict is present today with purchases or other decisions that can be modeled with a pro-con list. Career-oriented people like Dr. Stockman often find it hard to balance time between family and work. To write and share his article, or to support his family's current stability. Sibling rivalry between Thomas and Peter Stockman is blatant from the first act and progresses as the plot thickens. We are told Peter feels jealous of all the credit Thomas receives from the baths, which may in part be why he reacts so negatively towards Thomas's later discovery. It is odd to read about Peter's decision against publicizing the issues with the baths, knowing how passionate Norwegians are about maintaining a healthy environment. It's almost as though the environmental thoughts are being muffled by big political leaders, as they often are and have been in America. Characters such as Hofstad and Billing talk about how the old politicians need to be replaced by newer and more knowledgeable minds, just as the current generation, who beg for their thoughts to be heard, does. The optimists in today's society are considered naive in their thoughts because they don't know how cruel the world is. Dr. Stockman is an idealist who is considered foolish for coming up with his plan. Peter thinks him to be naive to the consequences the project would entail, just as visionaries are in modern times. We all have been given the chance to build upon the decisions and mistakes the characters in An Enemy of the People have made. With these lessons, we can fulfill the idea of a better future and a prosperous Earth.